Taeyong's point of view. It was wild when we all gather at the same place and have this happy atmosphere. I think this is the only good thing happened because of this marriage. Oh, by marriage, it reminds me of my little wife. I gave her a side glance and saw her talking with my mom. I don't know why, but when I saw her back in the living room today, my heart missed a beat. She was looking damn gorgeous in that white dress. It was the first time I saw her putting some makeup on her face. I am not the person which deny the fact. I know we have some indifference between us, but if she looks beautiful, I will admit it, and if she do right things and prove her self-worth, I will also admit it. I saw her talk with warm smile and being polite to everyone. My mind again drifted in thoughts. Maybe she is not bad. Maybe my parents are right about her. I shouldn't judge her by her background. With all these thoughts in my mind, we have our dinner. The reason I agreed to come here for dinner was also my little wife. Well, I want to ask my parents about her. I know first day they didn't give me any information about her, but now she is already my wife, so there shouldn't be any problem. I stand up from my chair and walk towards my father's chair and ask him if she could have a chat. I think he already knows what I want to ask him. He nodded his head. We both went towards the balcony. My father stood in front of railing. He had a serious look on his face. Ask son, whatever you want to know today, I will tell you. But let me tell you one thing first. No matter what, never blame yourself. Whatever happened is nature's doing. I got confused what dad was saying. Here was him to ask about my marriage, but he is saying something out of place. Dad, what are you saying? I just want ask you about my marriage, but you are saying something. My dad cut me off in middle and said again, I know that's why I am saying this. We own that girl a big one, and you by marrying her to make sure she's happy, safe and sound is least thing we can do. That's making me more curious about my this wife. We are Kim's and we own something to her will be the least thing I expect. I ask, we own her, Dad? We own her? Dad, stop talking like riddles. Do you remember your Uncle Minho? She is her daughter, Min. For the normal person, it was simple sentence. For me, it changed my whole life. My eyes went wide and whole body went cold. Memories were flashing in my mind, those memories which I never want to remember. I hate this feeling, but I couldn't make it stop. Take control yourself. Don't let those things mess your mind. You have promised your Uncle Min. You have forgotten that? Respect that promise. My dad voice took me back and I tried to regain my composure. Yes, I have promised, Uncle. I will never think about that incident. That was not my fault. That was not my fault. But Dad, how come she is Uncle's daughter? She is Choi. I ask, I know she is stepdaughter of Choi family, but how she became like this? Well, her mother Meena married for him only after year of Minho's death, and that time was only 10 years old, and Min couldn't take her away from Meena. Purim took the advantage of this and never let anyone from Min family or their friends to meet her. He was so cruel. He didn't only let her meet her family, but even he took her as his stepdaughter in court, but never introduced as his family member to world. He made that poor soul so isolated, and she had been a deep shadow of this in her life. That is why you didn't know Warren has a stepdaughter, but we know it because we know Meena took her along with her. My dad said in very sad voice, "It was too much for me to handle. First, my wife is someone related to Uncle Min. Heck, she is his daughter, and what Woodham did to her also start revolving in my mind. I was feeling so guilty how I behaved with her from past few days. I shouldn't have judged her just because she was related to Choi family."
But Dad, how can you hide this from me? You should have told me about this before marriage, and you would have never agreed to marry her even the whole world had collapsed. You would have not agreed with us if you knew who she was. We knew you there. That's why we hide this from you, just because of your past. You can't let destroy your present. And we had to keep an eye on her since she was taken by a Choi family, and believe me, have saw how beautiful she turned out to be. She is perfect for you. Your mom and me were eagerly waiting when she finished her college so we could ask her hand for you. My dad said with a smile on his face. I could see how happy he was by making her his daughter in law, but I was restless by this news. But Dad, still, you should have asked me. I might never be able. Don't think too much about this. You should think it this way. If you became the cause of her loss, then also be the cause of her happiness, hope in life. My dad reasoned. Give her and yourselves chance, try to understand and see how compiled are you two. And said again, okay, I will try. I stopped talking when my phone rang. I took out my phone to see who is this person was. I furrowed my brows when saw Rosa's name. Why she is calling me? Well, I took the call before I could say anything. She started crying. Oppa, Onni, she. Rose tried to form a sentence but couldn't form one because of her crying. I got bad feeling. What happened to her? I said. She went to washroom a while ago. When she didn't came back for a long time, auntie told me to look for her, and then I went inside the bathroom and what? I shouted at her, making her frightened, but she still managed to say. She was lying on floor. Her head is injured and had fingerprint on her cheek. Rose said in scared voice, "Where are you now?" I asked while clenching my phone tightly. "Women's washroom of first floor. Please come quickly. She is losing too much blood," she said in low mumble. "I will come, don't worry." Try to put pressure on her phone to make sure she stopped bleeding. I cut the call and walked out from the balcony. Dad was asking me from behind what happened, but I didn't have that much time. We entered the room back, and I told Jimin, "Honk at the car at the entrance this immediately." Everyone was startled by my words, but I didn't give any heed to them and went out where Rose told me they were. As I went inside the bathroom, I saw the most frightened scene in front of me. My little wife was lying lifeless in Rose's lap. Rose pressed her back of the head with both of her palms were her white dress has got a deep shade of red. That's her blood. How much does she lose? Lost it. I quickly went towards Rose and lifted her from her Rose lap and went out from their author's point of view. When everybody saw Taehong hastily leaving the room, they also went after him. Mr. and Mrs. Kim were most frightened when they saw in Taeyong's arm looking so lifeless. Her whole body was pale as corpus. Mrs. Kim started crying, looking at her dear daughter-in-law like this. Everyone was shocked. Mrs. Park went inside and helped Rose to come out. Rose was also frightened, but one thing everyone wanted to know was how this thing happened. Mr. Kim remembered phone call Taehyung got and so he asked Rose, Rose, did you call Taehyung while ago? Yes, uncle, when auntie told me to look for Annie, I came here but saw her like this. I was so scared, but I managed to call Taeopa. Then he came. Rose said while crying her head had got hit by something. She is losing too much blood. Mom, will she be fine? Rose asked her mother in hope. She herself has saw how badly injured was. Her words make Miss Kim lose her composure completely and she start crying loudly. My God, my daughter, Mr. Kim, will she be fine? Please tell me. She will. Mr. Kim didn't say anything, which made her more restless. She said again, Mr. Kim, please take me to the hospital immediately. I want to see my daughter, please. Spoke Mrs. Kim while crying her heart out. Yes, we should went to the hospital. Let's go, said Mr. Park. Uncle Park, Uncle Kim, you all go. I will see how this happened. I will go get investigated it immediately, and also I will get the CCTV footage of the corridor of the bathroom so we will see how who was the last person left from here. Yes, Jungkook investigated immediately, and how can anyone hurt my daughter-in-law and think of living freely? Make sure get everything done. Worse for worse their life. Everyone should think twice before looking at our family member. And don't worry, uncle, I will get everything. Please take care of sister-in-law.